Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the NeoMarketing podcast. My name is Kyle Golding. I'm the CEO and Chief Strategic Idealist for the Golden Group. I'm joined again today by Pritchard, Chief Strategic Counsel for the Golden Group, APR, and PRSA Fellow. How's it going today, Pritch?
Doing great, Kyle.
Fantastic. Today, we're going to talk about consistency in voice and message, and how the lack of consistency, or inconsistency, if you will, can kill all the good work that you've put into a campaign, into messaging, into communicating an idea about your business, your nonprofit, even your political campaign, right?
Right, exactly. And lest we turn this into a political dialogue.
No one wants that.
I think a perfect example of the lack of consistency of message is the White House.
They have not done a good job.
No, the last several weeks, their communication staff will say something and the president will counteract it in a tweet. So
we can't control the president. His team can't control him.
Wouldn't want the job.
But those of us who work in communications, not that we can control our CEOs or decision makers, but we can counsel them on the best way to make these approaches, right? Which is a consistent message that goes from the top, from the CEO all the way down to the receptionist, right?
Absolutely, because the employees are always talking over the back fence, just as they have for generations. And so if they don't have the message and if they're not consistent with it, then you're going to impact a good portion of your stakeholder group.
And your employees are always your best brand evangelists.
Absolutely.
But they have to understand the brand. They got to know, right?
Yeah.
Often a mistake I see a lot is the C-suite have all this discussions and they put all this material together for their communications, whether it's straight advertising, marketing plans, public relations, etc., even their digital social media channels, and then they don't communicate internally. They don't tell the employees, here's what we're doing, here's what we're rolling out, here's who we are and who we're not, here's our mission and our brand. And then people say, oh, you work at that place, I saw your advertising, you guys do this, and the employee goes, I don't know, do we? And an opportunity is lost.
Absolutely. Well, and ideally, there should be the voice of the employees in that discussion.
True.
As you're making decisions.
Another mistake by the C-suite, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the ivory tower, that's truly what we see a lot of times. But with employee input and making sure that you understand your stakeholders, then you can get a message that's consistent.
One of the things I say all the time when I do public speaking is marketing is a two-way conversation.
Absolutely.
Well, employees are part of that two-way conversation.
You bet. And I think we actually did our discipline a disservice when we called it public relations. It should be public relationships, because the C-suite needs to have a good relationship with the employees. Obviously, productivity and profit fall from that. But if they have a good relationship, then as you pointed out earlier, they can go be brand ambassadors for the organization.
I think it's even more important because relationship-based marketing and our digital channels are tying us closer to our clients, closer to our potential customers than ever before. In the 50s, you had to do mass marketing, TV and newspaper, and you just had to put a basic message out and hit. But now we have the ability to do mass marketing, but also do very specific niche campaigns to very specific groups, the way they want it and the channel they want it, at the time of day they want it exactly. And so we're creating a relationship with them that ends up being a business transaction. And again, because we're being so specific with them, we have to be consistent, because you can't be dead on this week and then off the mark next week because you kill what you did last week, right?
Right. Well, and the greater, there is concern certainly for the consumer, because we want them to buy our products. That's our revenue stream. But there are also other very important audiences out there that I think the pure marketing stream forgets about.
Right.
Legislators, people that impact the organization, activist groups. I mean, all of those folks need to be considered. That message, consistency over all those groups, then will help you as an organization win the day.
We're in the age of the rise of the social influencer.
Absolutely.
Whether they actually use your product or service or not, whether you buy, they do it because they like it or you pay them, they have to understand what your brand is and communicate it well too, because the one thing that social media is good for is influencing, but it also has to be authentic. And when it's
Absolutely.
not, when you pay Kim Kardashian $1 million to pitch your XYZ item, And everyone knows she's only doing it to get paid.
Right.
You not only are you not moving the needle to sell more of that thing, you're actually putting yourself in a backwards position, right?
You bet, absolutely. And authenticity is the term that I was going to jump in with. You said it first, but and to that extent, that's where that relationship becomes really, really important. Because if you have a good relationship with a social media influencer, they're going to want to do it because they're committed to it, because they have the relationship, and it's not a dollars and cents transaction.
Which people kind of sniff out these days. That's
Absolutely.
The beauty of our
see it coming a
digital
mile away.
two-way communication
Yep.
is we get to hear from them what they like and dislike, but that also means they expect us to listen to them when they do speak. When they
bet.
say we don't care about these things, we have to stop doing it. If you keep doing it, you actually drive them further away.
Absolutely. And I think we make that mistake over and over again. The social media is the greatest tool ever for listening and engagement, and so many people use it as a megaphone.
Right. Only one-way conversation.
One-way conversation.
It's a two-way conversation.
It is two-way.
The key again, people, is consistency in brand voice, message, and honestly, even in delivery method, although you can tinker with those things to find what works. But consistency is the key. You can do great work, have great message, even a great social media influencer, but if you're inconsistent in your delivery, your audience is going to forget about you quick enough.
Absolutely.
That's the lesson for this week. Now we're going to get into our personal tidbits. I'm going to start this week by telling you that I am a huge college football fan. I'm so excited that college football is back.
How many days, Scott?
Well, it's here. It's here now. And in particular, OU, the Oklahoma Sooners, that's my team. Pritch happens to be employed by the university, so I'm sure he loves them as well. But I have to tell you, folks, if you're into college football, this is a great time of year. I hope you're excited about it as I am. And look at the branding and the messaging and the imagery that comes with college football. It's big business these days, and all these universities really know what they're doing. So congrats for all of them. Hope your team does well this week, unless you're playing my team, Boomer Sooner.
Boomer
What do you got,
Sooner.
Pritch?
Well, I am speaking of being huge fans, I'm a huge fan of Monty Python.
Okay,
I've been watching them since I was a teenager. My all-time favorite movie is Search for the Holy Grail.
I love that one too.
And my boys loved it as well. We had dinner when they were still living with us. All somebody had to do was throw out a line, and we were doing the entire script.
I've got some friends like that too. We could throw lines at each other all
Absolutely.
day long. And I'm tempted to do one now, but I think I've been a little too silly with it. So we're going to end on that note. Hope you guys enjoyed the show again this week. Check us out again next week. Subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on social media and find us online at thegoldengroup.com. And hit us up, ask some questions, send some input in, let us know what you like about the show, and we'll hopefully address it on the next one. Until then, see you later.
Ciao.